more signing day in college football anymore, because in case you were missing it today, it came down that the NCAA is eliminating the national letter of intent. Financial aid and scholarship agreements are expected to be used. So I guess you technically will still have a signing day because it's way too much money to give up on. All these big networks like 247 on 3, they are going to push for signing day things to happen. So obviously you're signing something, a scholarship agreement to be an early enrollee, to go to school, find financial aid. But in reference to a national letter of intent, or an LLI, basically what you sign to say that you're pledging to go to the school, has been eliminated today. This comes after historic changes are coming to college sports. The NCAA One Council approved on Wednesday to eliminate the NIL program. The national letter of intent that started in 1964 is being reversed because now in September, discussions of a proposal of eliminating it was previously about the revenue sharing and other entities revolving the House case versus the NCAA. So many, many changes in the middle of the season are coming. And man, I got to be real with you. So interesting when it comes down to, if you're a head coach, if you're Brian Kelly, hey man, I'm trying to win against Ole Miss this week. Now I'm having to get refreshed and find out about all of these things when it comes to no more national letters of intent. Obviously, there's scholarship agreements that need to be met, but can it be met whenever? I don't know that. The last thing that the NCAA said today is that their D1 committee could be an evaluation of the entire recruiting calendar, specifically with the NLI program going away. College football's early signing period was moved up this year from mid-December to the week before the conference championship games. This year's early signing day slate is for December the 4th. So many different things that are happening around college football and college athletics in general that I hate that we have to come out here in a show and 2-3 days before LSU takes on Ole Miss and talk about it. But I felt like all day that there was no way that I could come out here and not talk about it. There's no way. Nevertheless, here we are and here we stand. We've got a good show in store for you tonight. Every Wednesday, as we've done throughout the season, you know what it is. The things that LSU needs to do, or the do's and don'ts, things I need to see LSU to do, in my opinion, to see them win. Things I don't want to see them do, that if they do these things, I think that they're going to lose. We got a lot of them. It's going to be a long show. We got tons and things to discuss. So things we need to see LSU do against Ole Miss and not to do. SEC teams to watch for. There's something interesting going on in the SEC that I don't think a lot of you are paying attention to. Have you looked at Texas A&M's schedule? Have you looked at Georgia's? Have you looked at Texas's? Because if you had, you would say, man, I see an A&M and I see their schedule. If they go 1-1 against Texas or LSU, they might be a playoff contender based off of what you saw a week ago. Now it's A&M, and there's a strong chance that they might soil themselves against one of these teams. But teams that we need to keep an eye out on, because, man, in 2 weeks, if you beat Ole Miss and you beat Arkansas, you're going into Kyle Field and what might be another yet top 10 or a top 10 matchup. Going to be very interesting. We need to pay attention to them. And then we'll go through Texas and Georgia at the end of the show. And as we always do, we'll take your thoughts, questions, concerns inside the chat. Stephen Young says prayers from Sarasota, Florida area right now. Yeah, man, we're praying for all of those in the state of Florida, man. I can only imagine what the state of Florida is going through at the current moment. You know, the Hurricane Milton has I don't know if it's completely made landfall yet. I don't know. But, man, I mean, Florida just got hit with a big hurricane in Tallahassee with Helene, and now they're getting – and we know this better than most, being in Louisiana and getting hit with another power hurricane here. It's not fun, man. And Florida, such a great place and destination. I don't know, a lot of us go there from Louisiana to go to the beach and go on vacation. So Prayers to all those in Florida, man. Absolutely, 100%. Just very, very, very scary. Scourge says, first time live from the 713. Good to have you in here, Scourge. Good to have you in here. Glad that you're with us. LSU Basement Boy _69 says 225 Burbank Drive down the road from the Cathedral of College Football. How about that? My man's already camping out. He's ready for the game. He's ready for the game. If you're on Burbank, my man's ready for the game. I don't blame you. Brandon Richardson says, be rich from the 225, 318, and 985. Damn, that man moves around a lot. He says, now I'm in New Mexico, Albuquerque, if I'm not mistaken. The 505 New Mexico stand up. Dane Bergeron's in the building. Good to have you with us. Good to have you with us, Dane. Brandon says, my daughter lives in St. Petersburg. So scared for her and the people. Man, I can only imagine. Scary, scary, scary stuff, man. Prayers to your daughter. Conrad says, hurricane can't stop me from listening. That's what I'm talking about, Conrad. Are you dedicated enough to listen to the show during a Category 4 hurricane? Because if you are, we might need to send you one of these. Conrad, DM me your address. I'm sending you some of this stuff, some of these LSU stickers. Send me your address, Conrad. We're going to get it to you. I promise. Chris Hall says the 337 Dawson, Louisiana. Chris Hall, I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing that wrong, but thank you for being here. David says, I think this is all bringing the Super League into play at a faster pace. Man, let me tell you this, man. If we go now, Greg Sankey said this week that we are not going, or it would not benefit the SEC to go to a Super League. I think Greg Sankey's saying that because of his job status. I agree with him. I don't want a Super League. You're changing too much up. ESPN and Disney are pushing a Super League because they want to make it like the NFL. Why don't these ADs, by the way, they met with 30 ADs about this Super League. ADs, you can't, who allows them to be out there trying to fish around money? So stupid, man. So stupid. I don't want a Super League. I think it's going to kill. It would kill this. I'm not going to say kill the sport because I'm always going to watch it. It's just so stupid. Gerald Rhodes says, Blake, my wife is listening. Convince her to let us buy tickets this weekend against Ole Miss. All right. Mrs. Rhodes. Do you want to have – let me just say this because you said us tickets, so the both of them. Do you want to miss arguably one of the biggest games that's been in Tiger Stadium under the Brian Kelly era? Do you not want to go out there and live and be a part of the people? The place smelling like bourbon. There's jambalaya, crawfish pies, filet gumbo. Well, it's ironic because tonight you're listening to a podcast with Blake Ruffino, but see, I rhymed there. But you want to be a part of what is going to be greatness, Mrs. Rhodes. I will say this in all seriousness to your wife, Gerald. 100-year anniversary, by the way, for Tiger Stadium. I will say this. I think Bama was a massive game in 22. I don't really remember many having this type of feel to it. I really, really, really don't. So all I'm going to say, Gerald, is if I convinced her to be there and go to the game, I'm going to need you to come inside the post game and send us a super chat. That's all I'm saying. You're going to take care of your wife. You got to take care of me for getting her out there. That's how this works. Cat Clark says, out here in Arkansas, and they can't stop talking crap about how they're going to handle LSU like they did Tennessee. Okay, well, Taylor Green's not going to play. So we'll see. Mickey says, my ex-sister-in-law lives in Tampa. Man, I hope she's all right. I mean, that Tampa looks like it's getting blasted. Anthony B. Saint says, ask Blake any recruits at the game this weekend. There will be some. We'll get a full list to you, or we can get a list to you by Thursday. But yes, there's going to be some recruits out there this weekend. They had some out during the bye week. By the way, remember 2 weeks ago, I told you when Carter Bryant was here that there's a safety on LSU's campus that's not playing for the Tigers right now that might be really good. Well, he was on campus this week. See, I'd be throwing nuggets out there to y'all all the time. Y'all just don't be catching them. I give you what I think is really big nuggets. Safety on LSU's campus that's not playing for LSU. Whoever could that be? You know, I'd be dropping nuggets for you. Like, bro, I drop so many nuggets in this show and recruiting sometimes that Ronald McDonald is smiling. Just saying. Just saying. See, Gerald says that was perfect. We'll update you if it works. We'll get you on the super chat after we get out of the stadium. See, Gerald, I tried my best, man. I tried my best. Mac says, so is Hilton playing this weekend or not? I missed a lot today. I don't know. He's going to have to show. I don't know. I don't know. The way that I feel like Brian Kelly's talking about it and then things that I know, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Let's get moving. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. If you're on Facebook, share to all those groups, to all those social media pages. You're watching us, listening to us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, notification bell, and wherever you listen to podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Let's talk about our good friends over at betonline.ag, our good friends over at J&J Exterminating, and our good buddy Tyler Alexander over at LPT Realty. We come back. We talk about our do's and don'ts, things I got to see LSU do this week to win, things they cannot do, things they have to avoid this week to win. We'll get to that next, and then we'll go to teams that we got to be paying attention to that are on our schedule that if you get through this one, might be a tough one. We'll get to that next. Stay with us. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to wager on all of your favorite sports, contests, events, with the first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews for all the news for each league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, college sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information for live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag.
He will sell your house and find you a new. Well, Tyler's the man, he's here for you. If you want to buy or sell, well, it's not too late. Dial 955-0008. Just call 955-0008. Y'all call Tyler, he'll shoot you straight.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
J&J has protected Louisiana homes and businesses for over 60 years.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
All right. One quick note, very, very, very quick note before we get rolling here. Did y'all see Hugh Freeze today? Now, this is coming from Nathan King of Auburn 247 Sports. I did not hear this live, but I saw it earlier today when Hugh Freeze was on the SEC teleconference. Hugh Freeze says that roster tampering has, quote-unquote, already started this season. Boy, couldn't be us. No, sirree. We don't roster tamper around here. Nope. What do I know? I mean, they're doing it too. I think it's funny. Hugh likes to cry wolf when he doesn't even know what some of his own soldiers are doing. But I digress. It's Wednesday, so you know what it means. We're going to go through the do's and don'ts that I want to see this weekend from LSU versus Ole Miss. So we're going to go through a list of things that LSU needs to do, things that Blake Ruffino believes and thinks and sees, like, what do you got to do to win this football game? There's a lot. What do you got to avoid? I think the things that you got to avoid or don't do in this game to beat Ole Miss is pretty simple. Now, they're pretty massive, pretty big hurdles to overcome, but there's only two. Let's start with them. Number one, and I tell you, if it's your first time watching this, this is in zero order whatsoever. So I'm just thinking about things. They're all going to be in the same thing. So no specific order, like boom, 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 boom. If you don't do these in order, you're going to lose. No specific order. You gotta limit turnovers if you're Garrett. Well, last time we saw you, you had two very bad mistakes against South Alabama. The week before that, against UCLA, you were mistake-free against a very bad team, guys, of the 129th rated total defense in the country, UCLA. Garrett was good. No issues there. But a team that actually has a pulse defensively, the game before that in South Carolina, you turned the football over once, probably should have had a technically turned over twice, and then you turned over on downs, the entire offense, not just Garrett included. You turned the football over on downs at the 6-inch line. Guys, you cannot give this team extra possessions. If you do give them extra possessions, they are going to beat you, and they're going to put a whipping on you because of their front. They're going to be able to push defensively. You can't play around with them. And you can't make critical mistakes. Guys, I'll be real with you. If Garrett goes 25 of 35 for 303 touchdowns, I will take that. I know that's a massive stat line. What I don't want it to look like is 35 for 50 for 400, 4 touchdowns and 2 picks. Like, I don't want to be in a scenario where we're trying to have to play catch up all night and then you're turning the football to play catch up all night. I don't want to get in this shootout with them. Guys, getting in a shootout with Lane Kiffin is like basically it's like tampering with or toying with the devil on if you're going to sell your soul or not. Don't do it. It's idiotic. Now, Brian Kelly said on Monday that it makes him, and I'm quoting, uncomfortable to play those style of games. He did it because Jane Daniels was special. Well, good on Brian Kelly for changing his complete philosophy on something and letting Jane go out there and do what Jane does. It hurt you, but good on you. I agree with him. I don't like getting in these shootout battles with teams. I want to play more complementary football, and that's what you're going to have to do. I think you can generate some turnovers on this team. I think you can get to Jackson Dart, which we'll talk about in a minute. All in all, for everything that it's worth, you got to play clean football. And you know what I'm saying. I think Garrett has been really good this season. Borderline some things that he's done has been great. I think of the throw to Mason Taylor over the middle. I think about the really good throw he made to Kyle Parker, the exceptional throw that he made to Kyron Lacey. I also cannot get those interceptions in critical moments out of my head. And listen, you're up 35-7. You can go put the game away and sit on the bench the rest of the night. We're out there lollygagging around. You got to find a way to eliminate turnovers. Take the sack. Don't force the ball if it's going to be an interception because you don't want to get hit. Go down, save yourself, stay healthy. Just don't give them extra possessions. Number 2, the only other thing that I don't want to see is And I think it's the biggest question mark that I have for this team. Are you going to get lost in coverage? Guys, the truth is, against really talented wide receivers against USC, you were pretty good. Now, they didn't motion you a lot. They didn't get you in a lot of confusing situations. I don't think that you played bad at all. I thought you were in the right place. They just made ridiculous athletic plays. I'm glad that you're in the right spot. Really, I am. I think that because your offense cannot convert on many really crucial situations in the second half, that you were back on the field over and over and over again, and your offense couldn't be more complimentary to you. Guys, you can't say this safety position lost. Guys, if we start seeing that this safety room is getting lost in space and not what they're knowing what they're needing to do, we're in for a very long night. The boundary is what the boundary is at corner. I mean, look, I think they got some talent. I think they have some athleticism. I think Ashton Stamps has got to play a massive game. A massive, massive game. You need, for once, some of your seniors in that secondary to stand up. I don't know if they can. I really, really don't know. You know, every time I try to put faith in them, I don't know anymore. And I want to be proven wrong. Like, I want to come out here on Saturday night and say, man, Major Burns had some critical plays. You know, I actually did that after the USC game. I know he gave up the one-handed grab. That's a one-handed catch, guys. What else is he supposed to do? I mean, come on. Like, that's a absolutely ridiculous catch, the one against USC. Because he made a lot of tackles at the line of scrimmage in the running game. He covered really well in the flat. He blitzed a lot. I mean, he got a really big sack, a really big hit on Miller Moss that forwarded him to have a bad throw on a crucial third down. I want to come out here and say that. Do I think that I am? I don't know. Like, I'm skeptical that I can do that. Like, I want to say, hey, man, that's a really good tackle in space on a critical third down by Sage Ryan. I don't know if I can do that. But you know what I can live with? I can live with you losing a football game and your players out there just not being able to make plays. What I cannot live with is you being in the wrong spots. I can't anymore. Like that. I would rather this Ole Miss team to come out here and break tackles, and you can't tackle in space, and one tackle's missed, two tackles missed, and they get a first down before you bring them down. I can live with that. I can't live with a guy being wide open because there's a busted coverage. Cannot do it. Won't do it. Won't do it. I am done defending that. I'm done defending it. The only common denominator now is you. Do you love it or not? And if you don't love it, then you don't need to be out there. Guys, to the players, if you don't love it anymore, get out. Tell your coaches, I'm out. Mentally, I am checked out. They won't play you. You going out there and playing, even though you don't love it, hurts everybody else around you. It's the most selfish thing that you can do. Show me that you can do it. I've seen flashes over the years of you doing it. I've seen flashes of Major Burns making good plays. Because last time we saw Major Burns, he had 2 passes deflected. Like, what are we discussing? But if your safety play is chaotic, you're going to be chaotic. You're going to be chaotic. So we'll see. The only other thing, too, and I just really got to, how do I want to put this? You can't let the moment get too big for you. You know, I feel like as a fan base, I feel like as just players, we have let these high-profile games get to us too much. The moment has been, for some of us, that we sit here and say, man, you got to win this one. And I'm included. I do think they got to win this one. I'm right there with it. But from a player's aspect, Like from just a pure player aspect, LSU aspect, this moment can't be too big for you. I can say it. Anybody else in the media can say it. The Rudy Poo dude down the street can say it. Everybody else can say it. The fans can say it. You as a team and a coaching staff cannot let this moment be too big for you. I don't think it's big enough on Blake Baker. I know it's not big enough on Kevin Peoples and Bo Davis. You've been in some crucial situations with your head coach. He's been in them. Your OC has been there with the last 2 years when you've been in very big crunch situations, meaning Joe Sloan. Guys, Joe Sloan's been here a while. I feel like they have been here a while in the sense of, okay, well, they've been in these crucial situations through these 3 years. You got to take a deep breath. Woosah, take you a gummy, do whatever you smoke a joint, do whatever you got to do. Not players, but I'm talking about just the overall aspect. Don't let everything around you get too big. You know, I'll never forget this. In the beginning of the season in 2022, I had an interview with Jared Bernard Converse, and we did the shoot. We published it. We put it on when me and Matt Trent were doing some things, and we talked about it. After the shoot, I was talking to him and Jay Ward, and I was like, Jared, and I just remember this like 10-minute conversation with him, and I was like, look, man, every time I watch you play, it seems as if that, like, if there's a play that gets on, like you give up a catch or you give up a big play, you seem as calm the very next play as you were the play before that. Why? Because you got to flush it. You just got to play every play like it's your last. And I'll never forget that. And that's what made a guy like Jared Bernard Converse, who wasn't a highly drafted kid, because he was on an active roster this year. Now, he's been up and down, and he's an active roster, but he was solid. That's what I need from you. I need maturity. I need maturity. I need maturity in the sense of that you know what you're doing. You've been in this moment before. Don't act like you haven't been. Guys, Major Burns, Sage Ryan, Jordan Gilbert, hell, I mean, Ashton Stamps was in three high-profile games last year. Braden Swinson, Savion Jones, Greg Penn. Like, they have been here a while that they've played big-time ranked opponents like this. This is nothing new. Most of them were on that team when LSU took down Bama in 22. You know what it took. You know exactly what it took. Are you doing what happened during that week? I'll shed some light in for you. Guys, in 2022, during the week of Bama, the week before and the week of, Jaden Daniels and that offense did not leave the facility. Didn't do it. Did not do it. Malik Neighbors and Jaden were up there, and Mason Taylor were up there so much during the bye week and during the week leading up to it, and it paid off. 1,000% paid off. No, been told by multiple people, even leading into the game. We actually talked about it on this show, like, hey, man, they're pretty locked in on this one. Like, they're going through everything, every scenario, every play, etc. Those guys wanted it. Jared Bernard Converse wanted it. And I'm not saying that I am trying to limit or put out there that you might not, but your actions don't show me that on the field. Your actions show me that you continue to make the same mistakes. Guys, not knowing your assignments, I understand that you can get confused on something that you haven't seen. Guys, some of this stuff is a tight end going in the flat, a tight end going on a post, and a motion guy going in the flat. Like, that's common stuff. Who's got the flat route? Okay, well, the backer does. Okay, well, then I'm going to play the middle third and take the post. That's as simple stuff that you constantly got beat with last year. You've gotten beat with it again this year on two crucial plays on third down. It's misassignments that you're missing and why you're giving it up. Most of them through the air, all of them being blown coverages outside of one that Ashton Stamps gave up on a fade route against USC that, by the way, the safety's not over the top enough to help him in a man-on-man situation. So even that, the guy that needs to be there to give him help is not even there. I want to have faith. I really do. Like I really, really, really do want to have faith that you can do that. The problem that I keep coming back to is that I just don't know if I can. You got to show me that you can't blow coverages. And if you can do that, maybe we'll have a discussion. Let's get to some things that LSU needs to do. Now, this one is in a specific order. The thing that I'm about to talk about is in a very specific order because I think it's what's going to happen. Ole Miss is 76th in the country in giving up sacks this season, team sacks. It's not as if that they have not played some really good defensive fronts. I mean, South Carolina's got a couple of pair of defensive ends that are good. Kentucky's got a really stout defensive line. They've gone against some really good defensive lines the last 2 weeks. They've given up a fair amount of sacks. They've given up 11. The thing that LSU must do, I know that Trey Harris exists. I know that Trey Harris is out there. And I do think Trey Harris is going to play in this game. I also know that Jackson Dart has looked a little bit off because teams have sent pressure after him, and it's paid off. Guys, there's not a lot that Blake Baker needs to change in some aspects when he gets in these crucial third downs. I got to tell you, I'm going after Jackson Dart all night long. Like a Cisco theme song. Let me see the thong, baby. All night long. Guys, they have been very bad in pass pro. Very bad. Specifically at moments on the right side of their offensive line, guys that are rotating in because of injury. They'll get some guys back. I don't think it's going to help. I think you got to send the heat. You got to send the pressure after Jackson Dart. If he flushes, you got to keep contained. If he pushes up in the pocket, you got to get your defensive tackles there and stalemate him and make sure that he does not get outside of that pocket. You got to go after him. The game plan is out on Jackson Dart. Let's look at the last 3 times that he's had losses. Kentucky, one of the most sacked games that Jackson Dart had at Ole Miss. Alabama a season ago. Georgia the year before, or the game after that. The teams that have been able to have massive amounts of success against Ole Miss, historically the sack numbers are up. You got to go after their ass all night long. Now, last year, which is why a lot of you have that passive thought in the back of your mind of, hey, man, this team's going to get beat. Oh, LSU defense isn't good. Well, they're 15th in the country in sacks, and they haven't played the same amount of games as teams that are in the top 10. So what is the best thing that you do on the entire team? Well, it's converting on third downs. Offensively, you're 11th. Guys, the second best thing that you do as a team is get after the quarterback. Your pressure rate is in the top 10. Your havoc rate is in the top 5. Your sacks is in the top 15. Jackson Dart does not like getting hit. Now, the thing about getting after Jackson Dart is that if you let him escape, he can beat you with his legs. And that can be a problem. This would have been an ultimate Harold Perkins type of game in some aspects where you can spy him and you can send heat after Jackson Dart, and Harold Perkins can run down Jackson Dart and make plays. We saw a very inconsistent and very bad defensive coordinator, Matt House, last year or 2 years ago in 22 do that exact thing. The exact thing that they did. They had Harold out there to spy, Russ the passer. It worked. Why did you go away from it? Why did you go away from it? It's the stupidest thing that you could have done, not sitting heat after Jackson Dart. Their O-line has struggled. They have struggled. It is time for you to go out there and not be passive anymore on defense. Guys, I would rather die on my sword than lay down and let somebody else come and stick their sword in my chest. You gotta go all out, man. I'm telling you, you can do it. I promise you on my soul. That's probably too deep. Actually, it is too deep. That's what she said. I promise you, if you send the heat, you're going to get to Jackson Dart. And we have seen historically when he starts taking hits, he does not like it. I know Brian Kelly this week said that he's a tough competitor. He's a tough kid. He is. He's taken some big hits, and he's gotten right back up. I commend him for that. What I also know is that when he gets hit big, his play normally gets really affected. You got to send the pressure and you got to send the heat. Braden Swenson's got to be your go-to dude. Guys, if Braden Swenson can be as effective as he's been the last couple of weeks, you are in for a good night. But that is the key area. I'm telling you, it is the key area of how you should and could and will have success. Get after their ass. No excuses. If you can get there at 4, great. If you can't get there at 4, sorry, you're going to have to go man up. And you know what? The seniors that are in your secondary got to drop their nuts because you got to go out there and kick somebody's ass. Screw all this passive mumbo jumbo. Get after his ass. I'm telling you it's going to work. If LSU comes in here and doesn't have a sack, you will have lost the game. If they have 1 sack, they will have lost the game. Jackson, you got to get him down at least twice. Get after his ass. All right. Number 2, stay with the running game. You know, it's interesting. South Carolina looked like complete ass last week offensively against Ole Miss. There was something that they did, though, that I think we need to pay attention to. I think that D-line for Ole Miss is really good. They've been really good. But, man, after, the first 4 drives, it was interesting. South Carolina started moving the ball on them, running the football. Now, Ole Miss was up 14, and I get it. South Carolina ran for 151 yards on Ole Miss. And I do wonder, with a better offensive line, South Carolina, by the way, 133rd in the country in run game efficiency, inside the tackles and runs. That's crazy because they hit 1 on you. And then 2, they're 133rd dead last in the country in pressure rate. They were able to have effective moments where they ran the football on Ole Miss. Stay with it. I don't know what the status is of Caden Durham at the current moment. I'm sure that we're going to find out soon enough. But the injury reports are just came out. Jalen Lee, probable. Javier Suggs, probable. Caden Durham, probable. C.J. Daniels, questionable. Chris Hilton, questionable. Wes Weeks, doubtful. So that is your injury report for LSU. With that being said, you got to feed number 29. You got to feed number 29. You got to stay with him. Get him the ball out in space, extensions of the running game, and let him run the rock. I feel like your O-line can still have success. J.J. Pegues, Walter Nolan, Princely Umanmielen, who may be coming back from an injury. The reports are coming out now, so I just want to make sure that we're not saying anything that might not happen. Princely Umanmielen, the really good defensive end for Ole Miss, is questionable. So we'll see. So is Trey Harris, and so is J.J. Pegues. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think all those guys that are questionable, Pegues, Umanmielen, I would be I think that they're going to go. Now, what is pretty big is that I'm just going to throw that out there. Matt Jones, their backup running back, is doubtful. He was their second back. Where's Ulysses Bennett been? Is this the game that they Bentley? Excuse me, not Bennett. Where is Ulysses S. Bennett Bentley, Ben. Oh, he's calling Bennett. So maybe he gets some more touches, and we're just like, this is the game that he comes out of nowhere and just plays really good. I don't know. Boy, but wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something if Ulysses Bentley comes out in this game and does something good? You got to stay with it. You got to stay with it. We talked about this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. You got to attack him on the far left boundary. You have to. It's not even a question of what you have to do. LSU's report says Kyle Parker's outfigured. We'll get to that. I know, guys. I'll get to it right here. I'll just have to cut through the segments. There is some news. Wilson Alexander reporting that Kyle Parker is out against Ole Miss. Yeah, that elbow, man. You're beat up at receiver. That's 3 receivers. All that are questionable are out. C.J. Daniels, Chris Hilton, and Kyle Parker. Kyle Parker being out, I don't think C.J. Daniels goes. I don't think C.J. Daniels plays, and I don't think Chris Hilton plays. If you ask me today, I don't think any 3 of them play. That's just me. Let's get back to it. Attack. Well, it's good that we talked about that because we were talking about it. No, I might leave that in. We're talking about attacking the far left boundary. Kyron Lacey, if you're as good as you say that you are, and I know that you tell people, I was on with Mike Detillier last week, and Mike Detillier was saying that last time he talked to Kyron's like, I'm going to be the best. This is the game to go show it. This 100% is the game for him to go show it. What I would say is that you need number 2 to have a big game for once. Instead of just barking to your – I hope that Kyron's not barking at Nuss the whole time. We need you to just be you. Go out there, catch the ball. We need you to be 22 Kyron. If he can be 22 Kyron that catches all those hitch routes and gets first downs, you're going to win. You're going to win. They don't have a far left boundary corner that can tackle. I'm telling you they don't. I'm telling you, if Wake Forest, Kentucky, and South Carolina all attacked that one thing and had success. And you're better than them throwing the football. So I've already talked about that ad nauseum. You got to attack that far left boundary. There is a player in the game that I'm most intrigued to see here. That's LSU tight end Mason Taylor. Chris Paul is somebody that Ole Miss got through the transfer portal this past year. The linebacker from Arkansas. And it's very interesting to me, mainly due to the fact that Chris Paul has been a really good linebacker of late. And he was one 2 years ago. He was one last year. I think he got hurt in the middle of the year last year. But I think that you can do some schematical things with Mason Taylor to get Chris Paul out of the box. Running those RPOs. They did this with Mason last week. I'm pretty sure to get it more on film again for Ole Miss. But the old Jaden Daniels RPO tight end in the flat, give it, keep it, or throw it. And if that happens, Chris Paul is going to have to go out and on the RPO that's going to free up the box. Mason Taylor and the weapon that Mason Taylor is frees you up in that situation in the running game. They're going to probably put Chris Paul on him. And I don't know. I think Chris Paul can be good on Mason Taylor. I don't think he's as physical as Mason is. So, with that being said, I think that you need to feed Mason Taylor early. Catch or 2, first couple of drives, get him fed in there, see what happens. But I think as the game goes on, I think the strength and the physicality of Mason Taylor can outweigh these linebackers and can really start weighing on them in the running game because I think he is going to be that physical. Mason Taylor, very big key in this game. If if he can be physical. I don't need him to have 4 catches for 50 yards in the first half. If he does that, that would be great. But if he doesn't, it's still okay. Get him some early touches. Let him be physical against these really talented linebackers who, by the way, are a little bit more undersized, but that can really fly. Last but not least, the worst area this year against some really bad opponents throwing the football has been Ole Miss's secondary. Guys, they're 58th in the country in passing yards allowed. Let's roll through some of the teams that they've played. South Carolina, not a good throwing the football team. Not a good team that can sling the ball around to multiple guys. Kentucky, not a team that can throw the ball around a lot. Wake Forest, well, they're not that good either. Dookie Water State, do you see where I'm going with this? I know that you need to stick to the running game if it doesn't have success early. You need the running game to open up some things for Nussmeier. The God's honest truth is, man, multiple teams that can't and have not shown that they can throw the football consistently have had very serious amounts of success tossing the football around. If you are unable to do it, then that's going to be an outlier. It's going to be an outlier. I understand that you're really banged up at wide receiver. You've had your entire season without Chris Hilton. So his injury means nothing to me. Kyle Parker has played. Him being out is of note. But C.J. Daniels has been in every single game. Every single game. But the 2 guys that you feature the most are there. That being Aaron Anderson and that being Kyron Lacey. And I still think that you need to get Xavion Thomas the football. I still think that you're deep enough at wide receiver that you could do some things. And what are the wrinkles that LSU does, which is going to be in the passing game? What does it do? What does it do with some things the bye week that you're going to show them that they have not seen on film? Here's another thing. I would assume that Joe Sloan and Pete Golding are very good acquaintances. I think that both of them know a lot of the tendencies that the other one likes to do. I think it's going to be a really big chess match. And I think that Pete knows that he's going to have to send heat after Garrett and get him down and skittish, because if you let him sit in the pocket, that him and Joe are going to pick you apart. Actually, I know that battle's going on, and those chess matches are going to go on. People have been in my ear this week. I'm not guessing. Not guessing. Kentucky and South Carolina can't throw the football, man. A lot of you are on me about Nussmeier saying how good he is. I agree that he's been really good. They ain't seen nothing like this either now. So we'll see. I have no idea why I just did that. Let me take a quick break. We're going to come back and get some comments. Then we're going to talk about some teams that we need to keep an eye on around the SEC. Stay with us. Guys, you might know my good friend Carol Falls and all the great service that he provides over at State Farm. He is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates as well? Along with the great neighbor service, State Farm agent Carol Falls has surprisingly great rates for everyone inside the state of Louisiana. So call him today at 985-395-4300, 985-395-4300 for all of those surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to the State Farm underwriting requirements. Guys, I want to talk to you about our good friends over the Drake Williams Law Firm and Drake Title Company. Are you facing tough times due to an injury from a car accident, navigating the complexities of divorce, or purchasing a new home? At the Drake Williams Law Firm and Drake Title Company, they understand the challenges you're going through, and they are here to help. The lawyer team of Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vignair, along with Morgan Daniels, have the experience and proven track record to give you that peace of mind. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. That's 985-386-7600 to schedule a free consultation at their brand new office located in historic downtown Ponchatoula. They're also doing a special, the AYS special. If you're refinancing or closing on a home in Southeast Louisiana, request the Drake Title Company to handle your closing. If you mention Blake Ruffino and AYS, you're going to receive a $400 discount on title fees. Again, give them a call at 985-386-7600. Let them know that Blake Ruffino sent you on by. Guys, let me tell you about our good friends over at Easy Free Bail Bonds, LLC, where they get your feet back on the street. There may come a time where a loved one or yourself is arrested and you don't have enough money to get bail from jail. Easy Free Bail Bonds will assist you in the process of getting bail bonds for your family. These bonds are a way to ensure that you're financially covered when a predicament like an arrest occurs. Easy Free Bail Bonds is located inside the state of Louisiana with an expert team of bondsmen that are available to assist you or your family 24/7. The team is professional and has a high-quality work ethic that will give you nothing but satisfaction. The company takes feedback from past customers in order to better their services and are always looking to accommodate and mold their services that best fit your needs. Remember this number, 985-517-3631. That's 985-517-3631. Because when you need to get back on your feet and back on the street, you know who to call.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
J&J has protected Louisiana homes and businesses for over 60 years.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
You put me in, you put me out. There are a couple teams I'm monitoring in the SEC through the next couple of weeks. Number one, it's got to be Texas A&M. Let's look at their schedule. A&M is on a bye this week, but they come in and then they have Mississippi State. It's interesting, man. I mean, they come off a really big win. They got a bye week to regroup. They don't have the lull game of like, hey, man, we just got a big upset. And they don't have to play anybody. So they get to kind of regroup a little bit after being 3-0 in the SEC. Then they have Mississippi State there. Guys, there's a good chance they're going to be 4-0 in year one under Mike Elko. They got LSU at home, then at South Carolina. Guys, we haven't gone in there and been able to beat them. I think you can beat them, but it's been very tough. God forbid they're 6-1, 7-1. Then they go to South Carolina. That can be a hostile environment. But I think that they can win against Mississippi State, South Carolina. Then they have another bye. Then New Mexico, then at Auburn, and then Texas. I don't know about you, but 100% for sure, A&M, if they just play their game, guys, if they beat you, there's nobody outside of Texas that can really give them a run on paper, and they could be a playoff team. There's a path for them there. Speaking of Texas, speaking of Texas, guys, I just don't know outside of Georgia if there's anybody on the schedule that can test them. Maybe Vandy can be scrappy with them. That's about it. Florida, maybe Arkansas. Maybe if Taylor Green comes back healthy and they're able to do some things. A&M at the end of the year. I mean, is Texas going to walk up in the SEC and go undefeated? I don't know. All right, let me get to a couple of your comments. But those are the ones that I'm looking at. Ted Biddle says, good show, bro. I appreciate it. He also says this is a game in which we find out which team is for real. Yeah, I am too. Justin says, just saw Ole Miss injury report. Still shocked that Diggs left us for the Rebels. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to be here, and I don't know if the staff completely wanted him to be here too. I think he was a locker room issue. I mean, and he showed you that on his way out the door, talking all the shit that he did. David says, I can't wait to see A&M and Texas matchup. Me too. It's gonna be fun if you're just a college football fan, for sure. Jared Roach says, if you minimize the big plays for Ole Miss and make them sustain drives, you got to do that. And I don't know if they can. Jim says, if we were inside the 5, Nuss can keep it and it will score. He can. The question is, will he? Will he? I don't know. Man, JJ Pegues questionable. Trey Harris questionable. I think these guys, Princely Human Yelling questionable. Matt Jones being out is significant. Man, let me tell you, I'm going to make it a point right now. Just in case this happens on Saturday. If Ulysses Bentley goes off on LSU when he's been absent the entire season, I'm going to freak out. I think if you're LSU, you just got to be ready for him. You got to watch last year's stuff. You got to be ready for him if he comes in. Got to be ready. Because Lane is a troll to do something like that. At least a troll enough. Travis Dyson says they're not going in College Station and coming out with a win. No way. If you're talking about LSU, well, then that means that A&M would have a bye week this week. They're probably going to meet Mississippi State. That means they would beat LSU. What do you think about South Carolina? I would say that they win that game. Add South Carolina win, a bye week, New Mexico at Auburn. Auburn can't beat them. And then you have Texas. I don't know. Anthony says, Blake, could this be the game that Sampson finally shows up? I hope so. We really need him to. We really need him to. So we'll see. All right, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, Girl Scouts.